Welcome to Light TV Main News. Our quote for the day: "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29, verse 11. The headlines: Four more officers arrested in 10 million kwacha AFDB loan abuse case. Police arrest suspect with a homemade gun in Shangombo district. 11 new cholera cases reported on 27th January, down by one from yesterday. Southern Africa floods kill 100 people and displace thousands. With the news in detail, my name is Jacqueline Mankanda. The International Monetary Fund Executive Board has approved the sixth and final review under Zambia's 38-month extended credit facility, unlocking a final disbursement of 190 million United States dollars. The release of SDR 138.9 million brings total IMF support under the program to SDR 1.27 billion, equivalent to about 1.7 billion United States dollars. Finance and National Planning Minister Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwani MP says the milestone marks Zambia's transition from economic stabilization to a growth-focused reform phase. Dr. Stumbeko thanked the IMF cooperating partners, the private sector, and Zambians for sustaining confidence in the government's reform agenda under President Hakainde Hichilema. The IMF has noted that Zambia has maintained broadly sound macroeconomic policies despite external and domestic shocks, while cautioning that public debt, though sustainable, remains at high risk. The minister says government will continue fiscal consolidation, prudent borrowing, and monetary policies aimed at reducing inflation to the 6 to 8% target range. He adds that Zambia's economic outlook remains positive, supported by strong mining, agriculture, and electricity generation as discussions begin on a successor IMF program. Chililabombwe district is moving forward with plans to construct a 2-megawatt solar power plant under the Presidential Constituency Energy Initiative. District Commissioner Kelly Jibinga led a team to inspect a 12-hectare site in Kakoso, with 3 hectares earmarked for the solar project. The initiative is expected to boost energy generation and contribute to the national grid through ZESCO. Jibinga says the project responds to the President's directive to address power shortages during droughts. Local residents have welcomed the development. Nzila Mvula expressed gratitude for an alternative source of power. The project will move forward as a contractor is scheduled to visit the site on Thursday to begin preliminary works. Clapton Reinsurance is set for a direct listing on the Lusaka Securities Exchange on 24th March 2026, capping a 5-year growth journey. Speaking at the pre-bell ringing ceremony, CEO Kodzai Bingepinge said the listing will deepen Zambia's capital markets and offer investors diversification, sustainable returns, and future dividends. The company commands an 86% local market share, underwrites risks beyond Zambia, including in Asia and the United States, and grew revenue from 1 billion kwacha in 2023 to over 2.9 billion kwacha in 2024. Luce CEO Nicholas Cavasso said the direct listing reflects renewed issuer and investor confidence, allowing trading to start immediately after regulatory approvals and providing investors with early liquidity. He added that stronger corporate earnings, improving macroeconomic fundamentals, and confidence in the regulatory framework are boosting market depth, with more listings expected in as Zambia's capital markets continue to grow. The Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested and charged 4 additional officers from the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock over the alleged misuse of a $10 million African Development Bank loan obtained in 2019. ACC Director General Daphne Chabu says the suspects face charges including corrupt acquisition of public property, possession of suspected proceeds of crime, and concealment of assets, bringing the total number of suspects in the Strategic Livestock Investment and Management Project SLIMP case to 7. Among them is Emmanuel Chilala, an accountant accused of diverting over 15 million kwacha into his personal account and concealing property by transferring houses and a farm to relatives. Other suspects include Akim Mwalilino, linked to property worth over 3 million kwacha, Sharon Hikaumba, charged over motor vehicles valued at 1.5 million kwacha, and Kabemba Mwambilwa, charged with property. I do beg your pardon, I'll take that again. Other suspects include Akim Mwalilino, linked to property worth over 3 million kwacha, Sharon Hikaumba, charged over motor vehicles valued at 1.5 million kwacha, and Kabemba Mwambilwa, facing charges involving property worth over 11 million kwacha. Ms. Chabu says the commission has restricted 37 properties nationwide valued at 59 million kwacha.
He is further being charged with 3 counts of possession of property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime, contrary to Section 71 of the Forfeiture of Proceeds of Crime Act number 19 of 2010. These charges relate to his alleged ownership of landed properties and a motor vehicle which has been valued at 3.4 million kwacha. Sharon Hikaumba, age 40. Ms. Sharon Hikaumba, a stenographer at the Ministry of Agriculture and a spouse to Mr. Emmanuel Chilala, has been charged with 3 counts of concealment of property, contrary to Section 36 of the Anti-Corruption Act number 3 of 2012. These charges relate to the alleged fraudulent transfer of ownership of 3 motor vehicles valued at 1.5 million kwacha to her grandmother and father-in-law. Kabemba Mwambilwa, age 47. Mr. Kabemba Mwambilwa, an assistant director, Livestock Development, has been charged with 2 counts of possession of property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime, contrary to Section 71 of the Forfeiture of Proceeds of Crime Act number 19 of 2010. These charges relate to his alleged possession of landed properties valued at 11.9 million kwacha. To date, the Commission has restricted 37 properties comprising 27 houses, 3 farms, and 7 motor vehicles, all located in various parts of the country. The Anti-Corruption Commission is encouraged by the progress made so far, which has been achieved through collaboration with various key stakeholders. The Commission reiterates its unwavering commitment to safeguarding public resources and executing its mandate professionally and impartially.
Police in Shangobo District, Western Province, have arrested a 35-year-old man after recovering a locally manufactured firearm. The arrest followed an intelligence tip received at 6 hours on 27th January 2026. A concerned citizen, Mutafela Mwalabashi of Natukoma area, reported that suspected hired gunmen, locally known as Karavina, were loitering around Nasikona village, allegedly armed and pursuing him. Left by the suspects and apprehended Stephen Kakoma, aged 35, of Sikowe village, Muyoyu area. The search recovered one homemade shotgun, unregistered and without ammunition or a serial number. Preliminary investigations indicate the suspects had been searching for Mr. Mwalabashi around 03 hours, moving from house to house in Sikowe village before leaving the area. Commissioner of Police for Western Province Division, Ray Hamonga, confirmed that the suspect is in custody and will be charged while investigations continue to track other individuals involved. Mr. Hamonga warned that criminals will find no safe haven, emphasizing that the Zambia Police Service will act swiftly against anyone threatening communities. A 15-year-old boy from Simani village in Kalomo's Siachitema chiefdom has been found dead in a shallow water pool in Chifusa area, with authorities treating the case as a suspected suicide. The deceased, identified as Edias Maunga, was reported missing by his father, Barros Maunga, after leaving school following an incident in the second week of January. He returned briefly on 25th January, but later left again and did not return. Police say the boy's remains were discovered in a shallow pool the following morning. Personal clothing items were found nearby, and a container of agricultural spraying chemical is reported missing, raising suspicion that poisoning may be involved. Southern Province Commissioner of Police, Mono Namalongo, confirmed that there is no visible external injuries. The remains have been taken to Choma General Hospital mortuary for a post-mortem to determine the exact cause of death. We now take our first set of commercials. We'll be right back on the other side with more news.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road, PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589, or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm. IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Auto-Best Engineering is a fully registered company that has services such as towing service. We have a saloon. We repair cars. We have a car wash.
Barbershop is a top-notch.
and many more.
Autobest Engineering is the company which you can rely on. We touch any car. We are just at the corner of Pemba Road and Mosotunya Road. You know what? We deliver the best. Yes, we are growing very fast. It's a top-notch company ever in Zambia. When you come, wherever you are, whether you are in America, you come to visit Zambia, please just go to Google Maps, type Autobest Engineering Group. It will take you where we are. Autobest is a one-stop shop.
Come to Autobest Engineering, where the best is done. If you want to know where we're located along Mosotunya Road, just right at the corner of Pemba Road, Chilende South. If you want to contact us, you can call us on 0977 18 12 73.
Autobest Engineering, doing what we know best.
Zambia continues to battle a cholera outbreak first declared on August 5th, 2025. As of Tuesday, 27th January 2026, 11 new cases were reported, down by one from the previous day. One new death was recorded in Lusaka. Cumulatively, Zambia has 727 cases with 11 deaths, giving a case fatality rate of 1.5%. Current admissions stand at 15 patients, including 5 in Lusaka and 10 in Mpulungu. By district, cumulative cases are highest in Mpulungu, 348, followed by Nsama, 161, and Lusaka, 87. Other affected districts include Monze, Masaiti, Mbala, Mpika, Kitwe, Senga Hill, Chilanga, Solwezi, Chongwe, Kabwe, Kasempa, Ndola, Gwembe, Kaputa, and Nakonde. The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has received the country's first consignment of renal consumables valued at 132 million kwacha. Senior Corporate Communications Officer Enoch Lusoke says the life-saving supplies, part of a bulk procurement, are meant to support kidney patients undergoing dialysis. The consignment includes dialyzers, BI bags, erythropoietin, AV lines, blood tubings, and dressings, with additional supplies expected by the end of this week. ZAMSA has begun distributing the consumables to designated treatment centers, ensuring continuity of dialysis services. The supplies are expected to last over 3 months, reinforcing the agency's commitment to consistent healthcare delivery.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, is pleased to announce to the nation that we have received the first consignment of renal consumables in the country. These life-saving consumables are critical in the treatment and management of patients on dialysis treatment or our brothers and sisters with kidney-related conditions. The consignment that we've received includes dialyzers, bags, erythropoietin for injection, among other key renal consumables. I must also mention that this consignment we've received is part of a bulk shipment that the government through ZAMSA procured to ensure sustainability and consistent availability of renal consumables in the country, and are also meant to ensure that there is no disruption in terms of service delivery for kidney patients in Zambia. Following the arrival of this consignment, ZAMSA has since commenced the immediate distribution of the renal consumables to all renal treatment centers countrywide to ensure that there is continuity in the delivery or access to dialysis services, and also to ensure that there is no disruption in patients having access to dialysis treatment. ZAMSA would like to take this opportunity to reassure renal patients and indeed the public that we remain fully committed to ensuring that there is consistency as well as stable availability, distribution, and delivery of essential health commodities to all public health facilities, and that people have easy and equitable access to quality healthcare services.
The Ministry of Health has clarified misleading social media reports involving a patient at the Women and Newborn Hospital, UTH, in Lusaka. The patient, admitted on 14th January 2026 as a referral, had undergone a cesarean section on 10th January and was referred due to a severely infected surgical wound. She remains under active medical care by a team of specialists. Investigations revealed that on 25th January, a visitor recorded a video of the patient without authorization, misleading her and soliciting 5,000 kwacha for a purported private treatment. The video was then shared on social media requesting public funds. The ministry confirmed that the baby shown is not the patient's child. The ministry also clarified that while the patient is registered under NEMA, she is not currently eligible for benefits. Authorities condemn exploitation of vulnerable patients and urge the public to report any assistance or concerns through hospital management or relevant authorities. Zambia's tourism sector is on a strong growth path, with international tourist arrivals reaching 2.2 million in 2025, a 4% increase from the previous year, Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba has said. Speaking at a media breakfast in Lusaka, Mr. Sikumba has said government policy has shifted the sector from traditional tourism to a broader travel and tourism model, with reforms aimed at expanding offerings across the country. Meanwhile, Labour and Social Security Minister Brenda Tambatamba said government remains committed to supporting the sector through better governance, labour law reforms and worker protection, noting that engagement with the private sector focuses on strengthening systems rather than enforcement. Zambian bloggers have joined the global community in observing Data Privacy Day 2026, calling for stronger protections amid the country's digital transformation. Director of Bloggers of Zambia, Richard Mulonga, urged robust safeguards against risks like cybercrime, identity theft, and online exploitation, particularly affecting women, children, journalists, and vulnerable groups. Mulonga emphasized that privacy is a fundamental right, not a luxury, and called on government, private sector, and media to promote responsible data practices, comply with the Data Protection Act, and educate citizens on their digital rights. He noted that Bloggers of Zambia are conducting awareness campaigns, stakeholder engagements, and capacity building initiatives to deepen understanding of privacy and strengthen digital rights nationwide.
Bloggers of Zambia joins the global community in commemorating Data Privacy Day with a clarion call for enhanced privacy safeguards in Zambia's digital transformation. The 2026 theme for commemorating Data Privacy Day, Put Privacy First, places emphasis on the urgent need for individuals, institutions, and governments to place privacy at the center of digital transformation, innovation, and public service delivery. The commemoration of Data Privacy Day highlights the growing risks associated with data misuse, cybercrime, identity theft, unauthorized surveillance, and the online exploitation, especially for women, children, journalists, and other vulnerable groups. In our view, privacy is not a luxury, but a safeguard for dignity, freedom of expression, security, and deepening democracy. Putting privacy first is essential to building a safe, trusted, and inclusive digital Zambia. As Zambia continues to implement digital technologies across governance, commerce, education, health, and communication, the protection of personal data has become both a fundamental human right and a critical pillar of trust in the digital economy. The Data Privacy Day provides an important opportunity to reflect on collective responsibilities in safeguarding personal information in an increasingly connected world. Data Privacy Act of Zambia represents opportunities and milestones in strengthening accountability, transparency, and lawful processing of personal data. However, legislation alone is not enough, but effective data protection requires awareness, compliance, enforcement, and a culture that respects privacy by design and by default. We call upon all data processing institutions to lead by example by ensuring responsible data governance, lawful data protection, and the strong safeguards that guard against misuse, breaches, and surveillance.
The Lusaka City Council, LCC, has dismissed allegations of corruption against town clerk engineer Lifter Indaba made by Simon Mwewa on social media. The council says the claims are baseless and an attempt to deflect attention from Mr. Mwewa's own illegal activities, including barricading a council car park along Kalusha Wale Road without approval. The car park had been designated for public use to ease congestion near the bus station. The council says Mr. Mwewa prioritized his own business interests in violation of council regulations. Additionally, Mr. Mwewa had an outstanding debt of 111,086 kwacha and 40 ngwe for business operations at the city market from 2022 to 2025, and his application for a 13-year lease was declined to maintain the property as a public amenity. LCC emphasized that it makes decisions in the public interest, will not tolerate illegality, and urges citizens to report unauthorized use of public property while disregarding the unfounded allegations. We now take our second commercial break. On the other side, join me for sports and international news.
Admission is now open. Are you looking for a nurturing environment that fosters academic excellence, creativity, and personal growth for your children? Look no further than Christ Life School. Our dedicated team of educators and staff are committed to providing a world-class education that prepares students for success in an ever-changing world. With a focus on holistic development, we offer a range of programs and activities that cater to the unique needs and interests of each student. Why choose Christ Life School? We have experienced and passionate teachers, state-of-the-art facilities and resources, personalized attention and support, opportunities of extracurricular activities and talent development, strong emphasis on values and character development. So there you go. Admission is now open for 2026. Enroll today. Contact +260 976 840 108 or +260 968 594 434 or send an email on christlifeschoolzm@gmail.com. Christ Life School.
The Football Association of Zambia is running the FAS e-coaching license course in Lusaka with 30 candidates in attendance, including former stars James Chamanga, Chishimba Changala, and Cedric Dego. Chamanga who retired in the 2024-2025 season, now serves on the Red Arrows backroom staff. Other former players in the program include Charles Montanga, Wilbrod Mutale, and Imelda Musonda. The 5-day training held at the National Sports Development Center, NASDEC, covers both theory and practical sessions. Candidates are required to pay 1,000 kwacha for teaching materials and meals. FIFA has dispatched instructors to monitor 4 prospective Zambian instructor badge candidates who are overseeing the course. Among the local instructors are outgoing FAS Technical Director Lyson Zulu, FAS Educational Officer Chris Chibuye, and FIFA-trained grassroots educators Philip Munkombwe and Franklin Malambo. FIFA instructor Zanud Mal is also assessing the local instructors ahead of a final evaluation scheduled for Rwanda. Once certified, they will join an elite group of football development instructors. The FAS e-course forms the foundation for candidates wishing to progress to CAF C and eventually CAF A and CAF B and CAF A licenses conducted under CAF approval. Updates on the upcoming courses are shared on the FAS online platforms. In international news, severe flooding across southern Africa has claimed more than 100 lives and displaced hundreds of thousands of people in Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Mozambique as rescue and relief efforts continue. Mozambique has been hardest hit, with floodwaters affecting more than 700,000 people, sweeping away homes and infrastructure and forcing crocodiles into towns. In Zimbabwe, authorities report dozens of deaths and extensive displacement, while South African Air Force crews have rescued thousands of stranded residents. Humanitarian agencies warn that hunger and waterborne diseases, including cholera, are rising as clean water and sanitation remain limited. Regional and international teams are working alongside local governments to evacuate affected families and deliver urgent aid. On that note, we come to the end of the main news, but before we go, we have a recap of the headlines. 4 more officers arrested in 10 million kwacha AFDB loan abuse case. Police arrest suspect with homemade gun in Shangombo district. 11 new cholera cases reported on 27th January, down by 1 from the previous day. Southern Africa floods kill 100 people and displace thousands. Thank you.